Hello, everybody. It is Jared Gucci here with WPFixit.com, and we are broadcasting live What's Up Wednesday. I am really excited about today's show because we are going to have a special guest, Jennifer St. James. Jennifer is the owner and founder of Either Or Media, and basically she is a copywriting and blogging extraordinaire. She does brand guardianship, she does content management, and she also does a lot of analytics and reporting to make sure that the content that you're using on your website is actually benefiting your traffic. Now, I am just trying to get the technology straight here so Jennifer can join us. So let me just tell her we are waiting on her. Okay, and we're going to be asking Jennifer a list of 5 questions when she joins us, and of course these questions are catered to the topic WordPress blogging for business, and they can be applied to other blogging platforms, but as you know, we here at WP Fixit love WordPress, so we needed to put that in the title there. But some of the techniques that Jennifer is going to talk about can be applied to any blogging platform, Tumblr, Blogger, and any other CMS platform that allows you to write your blog posts, and even apply to some of your more static content as well. So let's just let's check in here to make sure that she can join us. Okay, I think she is almost with us here. Send her another invite here. And I just, while we're waiting on Jennifer here, I want to encourage all the listeners and viewers that if you want to get a full schedule of all the upcoming What's Up Wednesdays, you can check that out at WPFixit.com/What's Up, and that's WASSUP. Okay. Jennifer, where are you? All right, and those of you that are watching this live, if you are watching this on the Google Hangouts page, I encourage you to ask any questions there that either myself or Jennifer can answer for you. We also do have the Q&A app running on this Google Hangout, so you can ask those directly. Actually, it's not running, so I'm going to turn it on right now. Okay, so you can now ask those. And gotta love technology. Still trying to get Jennifer into the video here. And I love this because it's actually happened to me before where we couldn't get our featured guest into the Hangout, and I ended up asking myself their own questions. But this topic, I actually need you, Jennifer, because I can't answer these questions I have. So let's hope that she can get in here shortly. And if we cannot get her in here, we will, of course, reschedule this, or perhaps we can get her to write a blog post for WP Fixit that answers the 5 questions we have ready for her. Oh, she's installing some software, so hopefully we're getting there soon. We're getting a little bit closer, and we can get Jennifer here as quick as possible to get this thing started. Okay, we do have Jennifer. All right, looks like you've joined us here. See if we can get your audio going. Start. Can you hear me, Jennifer?
I can hear you. Can you finally see me?
Oh, yes, there you are. Okay, great.
Sorry about that, everyone.
Oh, no worries at all. It's good that you made it because this actually happened before, and it was a topic that I could actually speak on, but this one I need your help. Join us here. See if we can get your audio going. Start. Okay, Jennifer, are you still with me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you great.
Okay, good.
Okay, so let's get rolled in here. I've already done a nice warm introduction to let everybody know who you are and what you're special at. And
Yeah, I could hear you, but I didn't realize that it was anyway, I apologize for
no,
not
no worries, no
installing it
worries.
before we got on here.
Okay, so why don't we dive right in? I have a list of questions for you, and I'm pretty certain that you can answer these questions better than anybody I know. So I'm going to go ahead and just start with the first one here. Is there a right way to blog?
Yes, there is. A lot of times, businesses, they kind of think that that content marketing right now is just putting anything on the web or making sure that they're putting that press release that they're so proud of out onto their blog, or just talking about themselves. And really, that is not what you should be doing. Keep that to the press release. Keep that to your outgoing direct e-blast marketing, but don't try not to use that in your blog, because basically, if you are doing that in your content marketing, you're like the guy at the party that just talks about himself and then walks away and never asks you any questions. So by just talking about yourself, you're doing it the wrong way. One of the best questions to ask yourself before you start blogging is, what are the top 10 questions that my customers ask me all the time? And that's exactly what you should be blogging about.
Nice. And is it good to actually blog about other companies and perhaps even your competitors?
Yes, there's definitely different ways to do that. You obviously don't want to, again, if you think about the party or social aspect of it, you probably shouldn't say anything about a company that you wouldn't say to their face. So, let's try not to be nasty or mudslinging, but you can always say, some clients have come to me saying that they've had a problem with a competitor or with another similar product, and then you answer the question about what makes your product different or better, or the story behind why you made that improvement, and that's something that would be very interesting to your customers.
Okay, great, great. Okay, so next question I have for you here is, this one's actually probably the biggest struggle for most people. Actually, there's a few of these that are really struggling, but how do people come up with the content that they're going to put in their blog?
Right. Well, there's a couple of great ways to do it. First of all, the one that I just said, think of the 10 top questions that your customers ask you, because that is clearly what people want to know, what people who are interested in your company actually want to know. But there's other ways to do it too, and let me just, I have a little list of things here. I mean, one of the great things to do too is think about topical. Right now we've got summer, we've had some holidays, we've got other things coming up. For instance, I write for an insurance company. We've been talking a lot about, people out on the water, boating insurance, that you can actually get a ticket for being a drunk driver in a boat, what that does to your insurance. You need insurance when you're towing your boat, not just when you're on the water. Also things about fireworks safety for 4th of July. So again, when you try to think about not talking about yourself and start talking about what other people are interested in, that's really where you want to find your content. Also think about talking about who uses your product or your service. That's the best thing to do, because a lot of people want to say, like to put themselves in the position of what they're reading. So if they're getting, if they have a question about how to use your service or your product, and then you actually answer that question by showing it how it was actually used in real life, that's a really great way to get the message across to people. for instance, one of my big clients is Epson, and what I really like about their content marketing policy is that they don't use Epson as the hero of the story. I've actually written blogs that don't have anything to do with Epson at all. What they want to show is the person who uses the product as the hero. So if you think about something as simple as a label maker, I interviewed a teacher who is a teacher of special needs students, and she got a label maker just because she thought it would be helpful for the kids to have certain things around the classroom labeled. Once they figured out what the label maker did, she said it was like transformative. These kids ran around the classroom. They couldn't wait to label things. She said it like brought certain kids that like didn't even speak out of their shells, you know. So stories like that, you know, really, you know, it's really not the label maker that's interesting in that story. It's what it did for the kids. Right. So try to think about, whenever you are writing a blog too, I would really try to put yourself in the reader's position and think about, is this interesting to me? And if it's not, then maybe you should look at rewriting it.
So do you encourage people to buy content? You know, I know there's a lot of sites out there where you can give them a topic and the amount of words you want, and they can just spit out an article for you. Do you encourage that, or is that a bad thing to do?
I don't encourage it because it's not authentic. Even you know, the service that I provide, a lot of times I'm ghostwriting for clients, and that's, you know, that's even one further removed. Like ideally, the somebody from the company should be blogging, but you know, that's not always possible. But just buying content that's spun, you also run into the Google's getting smarter and smarter, the search engines, and they can really tell that kind of content when it's being posted, and you might run into problems with the search engines, and there's no point in paying money to someone like you for a beautiful website and then just chucking it all down the toilet by pissing off the search engines, pardon my French.
Makes sense, yeah. And I guess what I've seen too, a lot of those things are really badly written grammatically and just spelling errors and things like that. So it makes a company look unprofessional in a sense.
For sure, and you know that that's a huge bugbear for me anyway. So.
Well, yeah, you're always spell checking my emails for sure.
But that's exactly, Jared. That's exactly what Google picks up on. That kind of language and the bad grammar. That's when they start picking up that it's not truly created content, freshly created content. Oh, there's something else I was going to say around that too. Also, you know, you're not really providing a service, and that's really what Google is going to put you up in the ranks for, is if you are actually providing content that's relevant to your readership. That's what that really helps you out with the SEO. So.
Right. Okay, great. All right, so I got a few more questions here. This one is, how do I keep my blog going regularly?
The best things to do is really to write or to create a content calendar. I do this for a lot of my clients, and sometimes that's all I do for clients, is just actually help them figure out what content they have, what kind of content funnels they have, and how to put that together in a schedule so that everyone knows what they're writing, when they should publish it. Now, it's not always a hard and fast rule. Like if you get something that's topical, like let's say there's an earthquake tomorrow, then you might want to post something about earthquake. Let's say if you're an insurance agent or something like that. But so the editorial calendar really helps you just not panic, because you know what's coming, and also it really helps you brainstorm on those topics. Like what you do, your What's Up Wednesday. You know, you can do that with blogs too. Have a Tuesday tips or something. So each Tuesday or every other Tuesday, you come out with you know, a list of 5 tips that your audience would find relevant.
So what should the correct frequency be for keeping your blog current?
I really recommend at least once a week, but a real minimum is once a month. And you're really not going to build a good readership or following if you are not consistent. Consistency is a really big thing for blogging, and that's why the schedule or the editorial calendar can really help you, because you might be able to, like you say, like, oh my God, I've got 2 hours. Write 4 blogs and have them lined up,
Right.
so that you don't have to panic. And they don't have to be long. If anything, they shouldn't be long. So I think that's one thing that people kind of freak out about, is they think like, oh my God, I've got to write all this stuff. Well, if it starts getting over, maybe 600, 700 words, look at breaking that up into 2 blog posts.
Right. So minimum once a week, and then is there too often that you could write that would get you, like, if you're blogging every single day, is that a bad thing?
No.
Okay, so you can be not frequent enough, but you can't be too frequent.
Right. Right.
Okay.
For sure. And there's also a little thing. My dad, ages ago, actually, he used to work for Jack Welch at GE, and back when they used to do a lot of speeches before they had computers and everything, and he actually shared with me his little formula for a good speech. And it's 4 steps, and it actually worked out. I figured out the other day, it works out really good for writing a good blog post. You start out with something really interesting, like a question, a statistic, a quote, something to get people interested in what you're writing about. And then you go on, why bring that up? Why is this relevant to my business or my service? Right. And then you want to talk about, my dad actually says that a lot of people skip that why bring it up section. And when you do that, it starts sounding too salesy, because you're not focusing on your reader. So you want to talk about why they'd be interested and why you're going to keep their interest. And then you want to talk about, for instance. So now you talk about the benefits, the selling points, the facts behind it. And then wrap it up with basically, so what? Never end without telling them what to do. If there's a call to action, if you want them to call or you want them to contact you for more information, anything like that. So that's a really good outline to help people write.
So blogging is kind of like dating then, right?
Yeah. Absolutely, actually. I mean, like you said, you don't want to be the guy that just talks about themselves and bores the other person to death. You really want to be interested in who you're sitting across from, yeah.
Right. Okay, awesome, cool. Okay, just got 2 more questions for you here, and then we can wrap it up, and you can hear the exit intro, because you didn't hear the intro. So, okay, why is it important to blog? I mean, a lot of business owners that I work with, they absolutely have no idea what it is, and then when I explain it, they have no interest. What's the real down and dirty reason why it's important to blog?
Well, if you want the best reason to give people like that, is that Google has basically said categorically that if you don't have fresh content on your website, they will not rank you. So just from a purely mercenary thought of actually getting any kind of ranking for your site, you should be blogging. Now, there's all sorts of other reasons why you should be doing that too. But when going back to the Google thing, if you think about it, if you go to the same restaurant all the time, they never change the menu. It gets boring. Why would you go back? But if there's a restaurant where, like, the chef comes out and talks to you, they change their menu seasonally, maybe you see them down at the farmer's market, maybe they have artwork that changes with local artists, that's really interesting. You probably keep going back. So that's kind of the same thing with the search engines. Why would they go back if you don't have anything new? But also, why would your clients go back if there isn't anything new?
So yeah, you're actually catering to the 2 audiences. It's Google and the search engines and the actual readers that are going to be interested in what you have to say.
Absolutely.
And that's important. And it kind of makes you an expert in your industry as well if you're writing good content.
Yes, and that's actually where a lot of people fall down to. They think that they can't give too much away. Well, nobody will hire me if I tell them how to do it. Probably not. If you're a plumber and you tell me exactly step by step how to install a new toilet, I'm still calling you.
Right.
Like, I'm not even going to tell my husband to do that. You know what I mean? So if you, it's actually proven that if you look at it as not as a scarcity, but as abundance, you will actually become more successful with your blogging. And before I forget, I just want to give your audience something really, really important. Please, whatever you do, if you're using photos in your blogs, which are really important because they make it more interesting, again, another proven fact about blogging, please, whatever you do, don't do a Google image search and grab a photo and put it in your blog. I am serious, because you know probably too, Jarrett, like, they will come after you. If that is a rights managed photo,
Yeah.
they will absolutely come after you, and you will be charged thousands of dollars and possibly a lawsuit. So just
My clients get the notice from Getty Images all the time, and they call me freaking out. And I said, "Where did you get your images from?" They said, "Google Images."
Yeah, it's no joke. They will find you and they will charge you. So just there's very several low-cost image sources out there where you can pay $50 a month and you get all the images you want for that. There's just no
So you actually brought up a question that I think some people may be interested that are watching this, is putting a video into a blog post. Does it enhance the experience of that post? Does it take away from the text? I mean, what's the power of a video?
Well, I think videos are great. Apparently, a lot of people like watching videos nowadays. I personally don't, because I can read faster. Unless it's going to be like a funny video of, like, I don't know, dogs falling off into a pool or something. Like, I'm probably not going to watch it because I just don't have that kind of time. So, but also when you think about it, you can't Google can't search the content of the video. Now, obviously, you can tag your video and that helps. But if you do put a video in a blog, you want to have that content with it as well. So I think what you're basically doing is you're catering to both audiences. If people want to watch the video, they can watch the video. If people just want to read, they can read. Or if they want to do both, woohoo,
Makes sense. Good. Okay. All right. Got a last question here for you, and this is probably a good one. That's why we saved it for last. So what are some of the do's and don'ts? And I think a lot of people know what they should do, but not necessarily what they shouldn't do that could penalize them with Google or, scare readers away or whatever. So what are some do's and don'ts for business blogging?
Well, again, what you want to do, the big one I just mentioned about the images, that's one that I really use a lot. Do be friendly. Just, you don't have to be formal in a blog, even if it's a business blog. I mean, let's, you don't want to get carried away, but, be friendly. It's a very informal type of communication. Also, try to shy away, unless you're actually a politician, minister, or, some other religious type of person. Try to stay away from politics and religion. It's a pretty safe bet that you're probably going to upset people, and probably not really what you're about. And again, try to be engaging. Try to ask questions. Try to make sure that people feel included and they're not just being talked at. I think that's a really good point. Also, what you brought up before, do watch your grammar and your punctuation.
Yeah.
Because it really does make you look unprofessional if you don't. And there's so many tools for spell check and everything like that it's kind of there's no reason why you shouldn't have it spell checked.
Now, is there a service that you offer where you can actually not necessarily, if somebody wants to continue to write their own posts and manage their own content, can you look at it and give them kind of feedback and a better strategy?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay. I certainly can help by consulting with people and just kind of getting them started and get them down the right road. Help them, kind of have a roadmap of how to do it. And for clients, I do everything from doing everything, where they very rarely even give me a topic, to just copy editing. One of my clients, she's not a native English speaker, and so she wants me to look over her posts for the Huffington Post and Entrepreneur magazine so that she looks professional. And then I just advise some people on how to get started and include their employees.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, I really appreciate you answering all these questions. I personally know how important a blog is because that's where I generate actually most of my referrals from. And it's the one thing that I have full control over, you know, where a lot of people put their emphasis into social media, and social media is great, but they're not driving them back to their blog. And, you know, social media changes. We don't have control over these sites. We can just use them as
Right.
tools. But your blog is, you have full control over it. And
Right. And you bring up a really good point, too, that you should really only, the blog is where all your social media posts should come from. That's the central content point that you should be deriving all of your social media posts for. I mean, otherwise, what are you directing them to? Are you directing them to other people's websites when you're posting on social media? You're so right. You write that blog, and then you get it out there. You disseminate it through social media, and get people back to your site and getting them in the selling funnel.
right, because the buying happens on our sites. It doesn't happen on social media.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, so this is great. And I just want to remind everybody that Jennifer's company is Either Or Media, and you can find that at eitherormedia.com. You can also follow her on Twitter at Either Or Media as well. And Jennifer, it's been great to have you. Sorry about the tech difficulties in the beginning, but I'm glad you made it.
No problem, and thanks so much, and nice to see you. We've only been seeing each other on email for a while.
It's out of well, same state, but out of the area. But it's good to see you online.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much. Everybody have a great day.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. You too.